Hello folks, and welcome to the channel. Ever wonder why every Leica review begins with philosophy and deep soul searching by every reviewer and invariably ends with a justification of the price despite the features and functionalities still playing catch up with contemporary technology? Which beckons the question of whether rangefinders currently only made by Leica actually are even relevant for professional photographers today. Leica fanboys are going to hate me for this, but in this video, I will look at the latest Leica M EV1 very practically from a user experience, results, and ROI standpoint. No philosophy and no eulogizing the 100+ year heritage everyone begins with. I shot over 1,000 images with the M EV1, including events, portraits, street, and family, with the 35 Sumilux, 90 Summicron, Voigtlander 21mm Ultron, and a TT Artisan 50.95. Before we proceed, a humble request to subscribe and help the channel. So Leica did break its own tradition, and to my mind it was inevitable. An integrated EVF was in my wish list when I reviewed the M11 monochrome here, along with a few other things. The most important among these was a faster processor, and that is where there is a letdown, but we will talk about that later in the video. The new Leica M EV1, the first M-mount camera without a rangefinder, no mechanical patch, no alignment, no changing frame lines, just an electronic viewfinder. And while everyone's busy debating philosophy and purity, I think Leica's quietly pulled off a masterstroke, a very, very profitable one. Let's be honest, Leica's genius isn't just in optics, it's also in economics. Every M camera spawns at least 4 siblings. Remove the Bayer filter to get a monochrome, remove the red dot to get a P version, remove the rare screen to get a D version, and of course, a few limited editions wrapped in exotic leather with someone's signature on it. And now, they've found a new variant, the EV edition. You can bet every future M will come in 2 flavors, rangefinder and EVF. Incremental revenue, same sensor, same platform, smart move. Frankly, there's no reason to lament, as the rangefinder is not dead. The EV is just an additional variant, so rangefinder fanatics can relax and just ignore the EV variant. Now, let's discuss practicality and relevance. Let's not forget, the rangefinder system is over a century old. Back in the day, it was revolutionary, compact, quiet, precise. But technology has moved on. I have used the Leica 3G, the original Barnack version, M3, M6, along with all digital M's from the M9 onwards. See my amateur video on the 3G here. The SLR came later, but it fixed a lot of what rangefinders couldn't do. And now, with mirrorless, EVFs have completely redefined the way we compose and focus, even if it is manual focus. So, what are the limitations with rangefinders? Quite a few things actually. Limited wide-angle coverage. You just can't see the full field of view through that tiny optical window for anything wider than 28 mm. Stick a large lens on and the viewfinder gets partially blocked. No through the lens view means polarizing filters are basically unusable. Optical viewfinders give no indication of over or underexposure. Well, this is true about SLRs also, but EVFs alleviate that problem. The focus patch is stuck in the center, so you focus, recompose, and hope your subject didn't move in the interim. And if you're shooting with a telephoto, good luck framing anything with those microscopic frame lines. The worst thing that can happen is the rangefinder alignment going awry because you bumped the camera. That might mean weeks or months of no camera. Yes, it happened to me with the M9 monochrome, and it's not an easy fix. It has to go to Leica or some handful of experts still in business. The system is beautiful, minimal, well built, yes, but not exactly practical for working pros anymore. Now, a handful of those do exist, and I was one of them, but just got over it over a period. Now we assume the Leica EV1 fixes all this. You get through the lens viewing, no parallax, no blockage, and a real-time preview of your final exposure. But here's the thing, EVFs are only as good as their performance. If there's lag due to slow sensor readout, the whole advantage collapses. And that's the first problem with the M EV1. There is hardly an improvement over the VisuFlex 2, and the lag in low light makes it almost unusable. At least with a rangefinder, you had an optical alternative. Add to this the second problem, the startup time of almost 4 seconds. It forces you to keep the camera always on, and that is a battery drain in the field. The latest Ricoh GR4 I reviewed here has instantaneous startup, ready for action in a jiffy. And even the Fujis are almost there. That's an absolute must-have for street photography. The decisive moment is not going to wait for the lethargic startup time of Leica. Why these two aspects escape the Leica think tank is beyond comprehension. The third problem is with focus peaking. Now, ideally, focus peaking should indicate only the critical focus area, even if one is shooting with a narrow aperture and the depth of field is really wide. It should still indicate the critical focus area. I hope this is an algorithm fix and comes at least as a menu option in the future, so that if people want everything in focus to be indicated by focus peaking, they can have it. And people like me who want only the area in critical focus to be indicated by focus peaking have that option. Currently, the whole frame appears in focus with focus peaking if you're shooting at narrow apertures, especially with wider lenses and narrow apertures. It completely misleads you, and Leica lenses and working professionals deserve precision. For years, I shot portraits and weddings with Leica rangefinders and with the 50.95. the legendary 75 Sumilux and a 21mm. With age, I found achieving critical focus challenging and wished Leica give us a state-of-the-art EVF experience rather than the silly and suboptimal EVF attachment, an afterthought of an appendage. In the coming years, if not already, we will know how Leica is positioning the M series. It almost has ceased to be a working professional system from a price and performance-linked technology advancement standpoint. It has not progressed. We keep getting slightly incremental upgrades along with prices and no real innovation. If it is supposed to be the system of nostalgia and exclusivity, then it is not a working professional system, more like a museum system. For nearly 9 grand, this camera needs to be more than nostalgia wrapped in magnesium or aluminum. No brass anymore either, huh? Manual focus photographers will pay for tactile joy, but they also need reliability, speed, and an EVF that's bang on. Because let's face it, at this price point, you're competing with tech marvels and medium format monsters. So romance alone won't cut it. Now, the positives. Of course, the image quality. I have always loved the Leica color science and the dynamic range, and the EV1 shines here. The 4.5 FPS is helpful for street photography to capture some decisive moments, and the processor is decent enough to shoot about 10, 12, maybe 15 raw images before it slows down. When I first shot with the EV1, I found the digital zoom focus aid irritating, but as I kept using it, after about 200 images, I found it indispensable for critical focus. It grows on you, and the fact that you can select different zones which you want enlarged or zoomed in helps, and it's easy to move with a finger tap on the screen. So yes, the M EV1 takes a bit of time to get used to, but it can be a great tool for photographers, albeit not for moving objects. In that sense, it caters to pretty much the genres that a rangefinder would cater to. So in summary, while the EV negates a lot of the shortcomings of rangefinders, it does not make things faster or help you expand the genres you would want to shoot. The M EV1 could be the start of a new chapter or the end of an era. If Leica nails this EVF, fast refresh, accurate peaking, zero lag, then they've modernized the M line without losing its soul. But if it feels sluggish or disconnected, it'll remain what many fear, a luxury toy for the rich, not a tool for professionals. I love Leica glass, the tactile clicks, the rendering, the micro contrast magic, but those lenses deserve a body that keeps up. The EV1 has to deliver a wholesome experience, not just patches of brilliance here and there. So, Leica didn't abandon its legacy, it just modernized it and monetized it. Smart. And maybe that's the most Leica thing ever. If you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a comment below. Are you Team Rangefinder or Team EVF? And don't forget to subscribe for more honest takes on cameras that cost as much as a used car. See you soon.